guys, welcome back. This is Scott Miller and you're at Music in Motion. Welcome back. In this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap up our part 2 on our electronics for Project Elevation, our 2022 GMC Sierra, also our Music in Motion demo vehicle. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll cover the RGB lighting in this one. We have some headrest monitors going in it. We have a streamer coming from RDV Automotive Tech, if I'm not mistaken. Rich has some killer products, but without further ado, let's get into the video and we'll walk you through. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel again. I'm your host, Scott Miller. In Project Elevation today, we're gonna be doing part 2 of our electronics. So specifically what we're gonna get into is we're gonna be doing a full RGB undercar kit, lighting kit. So we have some LED strip that's gonna be going under there, as well as a control module. What's really cool about our control module for this application is we're gonna be integrating the turn signals for the left and the right side of the vehicle, stop lights, and potentially the reverse lights on the underbody kit. So it'll kind of function multi-purpose, right? We'll have all the aspects of the car show, the breathing, strobing, all the come look at me lights, and then we'll also have some functionality aspects behind it for the turn signals, the stop and reverse. Outside of the underbody kit, we're gonna be doing a headrest package today. I can actually show you that one. So we have a headrest package here that we got for the vehicle. We were thinking with our demo vehicle, how cool would it be if we were able to put some screens in the back, just for some rear seat entertainment, but link it into the factory screen. So, see if I can get these open here for you. I'll show you what we got. Let's get you guys set up. All right, so I'll show you what we got. So this is a factory matched headrest for this vehicle. Same material, same stitching, integrates an 8-inch screen in the back. So again, we'll just get some this is a traditional video kit, right? So we're gonna have DVD back here. We have some streaming options, HDMIs, thing like that. Obviously, we're familiar with the factory headrest on here. So let's see if we can get this guy to, again, just normal headrest, but you can see materials match. And how cool is it gonna be to have a screen back there? So we got that situated, but then we found this piece here from our buddy Rich over at RDV Automotive Tech. This is what he calls his streamer. So this piece is gonna go in, this actually integrates into the factory screen. What it does is it gives us streaming capabilities, right? So we link this up to, it's got spot for SIM card. So if you go get a SIM card from your service provider, this has Wi-Fi capability. And then what we'll do is, without having to connect to a hotspot, that'll give us a full, basically Android platform that we can get into the vehicle so we can stream things like YouTube videos from Music in Motion, so we can watch the entire build process on Project Elevation. Call me crazy, but I think that'd be pretty legit. So with that, we're gonna, for demo purposes, get this thing all set up, you know? So without further ado, we're gonna get set up under the vehicle first. We are gonna do the undercar lighting because I think it's really cool. And then the integration on the lighting should be really cool with its stop, turn, reverse. And yeah, after that, we'll get into the headrest package and we'll wrap up Project Elevation here. So let's go ahead and get running. coming out of the time lapse. Let's keep it moving. We got, the hard part is done. So we got all the lights hung under the truck. So at this point, what we're gonna go ahead and do, we did test them. We test the strips as we go through, just heaven forbid, right? It's one of those things. So at this point, we're gonna go through and we're actually gonna build some harnesses. So we're gonna take a primary wire under the truck. We're gonna measure our lengths with where we're gonna route our cable and build some harnesses. So at that point, the entire system under there will be a plug and play, you know? So we try to treat everything like a factory environment. So lights could come down if necessary, but where they need to be more permanent, they are. And again, yeah. So we're gonna build some harnesses, get these things wired up, and then it's time to have some fun with them. So let's get back into it. So here we go, let's show you what we got. First thing we did was we got the fender liners removed from the truck. That gave us access to all the factory wiring harnesses and all. It's gonna be the best for us to route all of our cables between all the lights. After that, we have our module prepped out here. We did some testing with it as we got the strips hung, and then hard part's done. All the lights are hung at this point. So now what we did is we basically went on there and fished out what are gonna be our cable lengths, and we built some harnesses. So harnesses, all the connections are done inside of a dressing. And then the connectors will actually get packed in dielectric grease. Up in these harsh climates, I mean, we're up in North Michigan, so we get a lot of snow, believe it or not. And we just have to make sure everything's insulated correctly. Again, it's gonna be external on the truck. So outside of that, now the easy part. So we're gonna go to the vehicle, we're gonna connect our strips, we're gonna route the cables, get everything secured, get the fender liners put back in, and should be able to play with some more in the engine compartment and play with some lights. So let's go ahead back into super fast YouTube mode. Let's get her lit up.
Hey, I don't get what this is about. You got my head spinning on my shoulders. I feel a burn inside of my chest. See the lines as they blur out. I can feel it knocking me out. You're bringing me higher and higher in every way. And all of my doubts, I can feel them, they're fading away. Oh, you're like a fantasy. I know this can't be real. I'm falling way down, all delusional. I got the feeling like I'm lucid dreaming, got me flying high. 'Cause I can't believe that I get to have you close. On an endless road, I'm levitating now. In one of those lucid dreams. In one of those lucid dreams. Oh yeah. Wait, you gotta tell me what you did. I saw the world turning in my mind. Oh, yesterday you pulled the rug under my feet. Still I'm trying to wake me up. What if I'm making it all up? You're bringing me higher and higher in every way. Yeah. And all of my doubts, I can feel them, they're fading away. Oh, you're like a fantasy. I know.
Captain's log, day 621. I don't know, Wilson and I are still on this island. Here's our headliner. So we've got about, actually, you know what? Wilson, get the lights. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so yeah, this is what we got so far. Believe it or not, we are not done. So what we do is we got it fired up. We got our first strands all cut. I know it looks super busy right now, but it's not quite where we want it to be yet. So what we're gonna do, get it flipped over. We're gonna run a second, like so if you see some of our spots, not to cut myself off, if that's even a thing, but like we just have some dead spots we're gonna go back and fill in. We want it to look as uniformly chaotic as possible, if that makes any kind of sense. But yeah, so we're gonna flip it back over, get another layer of marks all put on the headliner, just some little Sharpie dots, just so we can kind of see the mess, if you would. And yeah, Wilson and I will get back to poking another 1,000 or so some holes. So Wilson, lights, my dog. So let's go ahead and get back on this headliner. We got a lot to do.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spreading in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had a
All right, guys. And on the 7th day, they said, let there be lights. So let's show you what we got here. This thing is lit up, man. So we still have some little things to do. We still have our integration to do for our stop, turn, reverse. And we've just got it on, just kind of a color changing. This is our dazzle pattern. So if you watched our K5 Blazer video, we touched on the lighting module that we used. And we talk about some of the patterns that the thing has preset, which is really cool. But man, this thing is lit, dude. So this isn't even on the truck's power yet. I've got these running off little 12-volt drill batteries. So you can only imagine what it's gonna do. But super, super cool. So we are gonna light up the engine bay in this as well. So right now that's kind of where we're at. So all of our, it's gonna daisy chain. Our module mounts in the engine compartment up towards the firewall, and that's where our engine bay lights are gonna tie in. Then once we get our integration done on these, we'll actually do some, we'll do some programming on the lights. They are addressable, so we are able to do things with them. We can program every individual LED on this kit if we wanted to. It's just tedious and time consuming. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So to wrap this part up, we still have a little more to go, but we're gonna go ahead. The next step is gonna be the engine bay lighting. Once we get the engine bay lighting taken care of, move on with the other accessories. I'm pretty sure the next accessory we're gonna dive into is gonna be the headrest. So headrest video will be pretty cool. And that's gonna be it for our accessories. I think we have a little switch panel to do, but I'm not super certain yet. I'm unsure where the controller for the power supply is gonna go yet. So we might build a little display in the back behind one of the seat openings, or we might move it to the center console. So right now, just kind of up in the air. So we're gonna kind of address it once we get there. But outside of that, let's go ahead and get back into super fast YouTube mode, get the engine bay wrapped up, and then we'll do a once over on that. Once we do a once over on that, we'll move into these headrest TVs. Oh, and I'm sorry, forgive me, our Streamer Plus from RDV. So that's the other piece we're gonna address with the headrest. So once we get the video aspects going, we'll cover every piece for you. So let's go ahead and dive back in. I couldn't help but stop to show you. These lights are too cool, man. So questions about the kits, anything like that. I know I forget to include this all the time, but if you guys have questions about how we're doing this stuff, how we mounted it, just anything, man. You know, we're here for you guys. So you can like the video if you're liking what we're putting out. Drop some comments in there if you have questions about the installation as we go through it. We're happy to answer them. And other than that, I'll plug. Make sure we're hitting that subscribe button, notifications turned on, and stay with all of our video content. So, like I said, plenty more cool stuff like this to go. So, yep, let's dive back in. I'm ready to get into the headrest. So let's get the engine bay wrapped up and keep on moving.
När morgonen gryr och dimman ligger tät bland bergen, då dansar gruvfrun. Osynlig för blotta ögat, men med påtaglig närvaro, dansar gruvfrun. När natthimlen glittrar och de djupa skogarna tystnat, då dansar gruvfrun. Påtaglig och vacker, iklädd ljusgrå slöja.
So quick little time lapse. All the lights in the engine bay are done that we were talking about. We did kind of wiggle our nose, jump forward a little bit. Headrest TVs are done and all the other goodies. So let's give you a final walkthrough and we'll wrap this video up here. We're gonna open that door up just a little because we're gonna start the truck here, but let's go ahead and show you what we did on the inside here. So obviously we just gave you the walkthrough on all the lighting. Kind of touched on that for you. Let's get this guy started. All right, in the meantime, we're gonna close the hood, let everything get started up here. Alrighty. So first thing we'll show you guys is the Streamer Plus. The Streamer Plus is pretty cool. We integrated this front screen. What's really neat about it is it's all seamless, obviously. And if we go to, let's see. I'm sorry, Apple CarPlay. Oops. Sorry, selected the wrong one there. So So we're gonna let this thing go ahead and get connected here. Pretty legit. It's quicker than I thought. So when we come in here, this is how we integrate the screen. So I mean, anything we want here. We've got nav options. We have some CarPlay options because we can run CarPlay through this box. This is basically an Android platform that we get from RDV Automotive Technologies, and it basically unlocks the screen. So what we can do in here is, you want to watch music and motion videos on YouTube, you can come in here and watch YouTube. I mean, it's a full browser, it's full Android system basically. So I mean, if you subscribe to YouTube TV, not that I condone watching TV while you're driving, but I mean, you watch whatever you want real time. So beyond that, well, that's coming up there. I might not be connected to Wi-Fi right now. The box is pretty neat, man. It's got Wi-Fi capability. So we do have it linked to the Wi-Fi in the truck, the hotspot. And then, let's see. Also integrated these back screens here. So let's get these booted up here. Basically, we got some headrest video here. So when we are watching music in motion YouTube videos on the 2022 GMC era Project Elevation build here, now our passengers can watch as well, with the Rolls-Royce inspired Starlight headliner, all the courtesy lighting. I mean, just really, really cool stuff, man. So outside of that, let's get this one buttoned up for you guys. I mean, that's the gist of it here. So let's go ahead and shut this off. So, but yeah, real cool stuff, man. So that box, I mean, it's not just YouTube, man. Anything, man. You want Netflix, you want Hulu, I mean, anything you can do, man. It's on there. So it's pretty cool stuff. So this video, again, we talked about, this was electronics phase 2, part 2, sub-addendum 2, whatever you want to call it. But this was the second phase of our electronics, is what I'll deem it for Project Elevation here. Also, our last video on Project Elevation for now. So system's a jam. The accessories were such a nice compliment. We're gonna wrap it up. So again, you guys know the deal. Make sure you're subscribing, not to miss any videos from us with notifications turned on. Feel free to drop some likes, comments, anything you'd like on the video. We're happy to oblige. And until then, we'll see you guys on the next one.